and that's interesting. And there's so much written about leadership, Mark. And, and not many people necessarily draw the distinction between managing and leadership. But where do you see the distinction? I know you speak about vision and that North Star and, you touched on listening there and emotional intelligence. But it's not to polarize them. That say leadership is good and management is not necessarily bad, but they're different functions at different times. But how would you break the two things down?
That's a great question. And as I think about it, I realize now you're making the point that a lot of people have made to me, like it's not a choice, right? Like being a good manager for me, particularly when things are going bad, is to say, listen, we really have a problem here on a day-to-day level, but like the North Star vision stays the same.
Yeah.
And, it's what I think Jeff Bezos, who is full of quotes, but one of them is, stay fixed on the North Star, but be very, very iterative and agile on the way you get there.
Yeah.
I think a really good manager is there to soak up the anxiety. So I know this when I was in startups, and I literally remember one time when we still had paper checks, knowing that we couldn't meet payroll unless I got an investor to cough up some money to get us through payroll, and not being able to say that to my team. That's a good manager who'd be able to soak up that anxiety, at least for a while, and appropriately signal a red flag going off somewhere, but not get everyone panicky. And I do think one of my only sort of natural skills in life has been to look around a corner and persuade people to follow me to that destination. But along the way, having to be a manager to soak up the anxiety, to always have a plan A, B, and Z. I always think that the good manager has a lifeboat. If the business doesn't work out or some calamity happens, the manager knows that we're all going to open the parachute here. And finally, I think in terms of saying goodbye to people that shouldn't be in your organization with dignity, respect, and psychological safety for the people left behind. And I see a lot of bad management where, people have got to reduce the number of employees they have. And one moment they're, selling them on the free coffee in the billiard room, and the next moment you're gone. And that's, I think, so important for the role of a manager. Now, the leader, I think, is slightly different in that the leader relies upon the tenets of emotional intelligence. And I'm not making this up myself. I think the Harvard Business Review has a series of books on this. So the first is self-awareness. When a manager walks into a room, they cannot not communicate. A leader is aware of that. They walk in the room knowing that a silence, an energy level is going to get reflected in people. And so to be aware of that, to be able to regulate that, to speak with vision, to know what success looks like every day,